Check, check. All right, here we go. Time to take a test. All right, let's go. Let's see right here. Yeah, we're taking this test. All right. Where do I stand? If globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than, I mean, come on, man. Pretty, that's pretty obvious, yeah? I'd always support my country. I would say I disagree with that. Um, why not strongly disagree? There's a lot of different situations that probably could develop from this. Um, so I'm not ready to really go all the way with that. Yeah. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I would say that's not true, right? Um, our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. Uh, yeah, I think this is trying to get at some idea of do you support racism and stuff, and obviously not. Am I my friend? I would disagree with that. Um, that is right. There's different levels of enemy, and right, just because if they're just randomly violent, like they'll take you out too, right? So military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. I would agree. Okay. There is now warring future, and why would I say that, right? International law. Just because the law is international doesn't mean it's perfect or right or just, right? So there is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Um, uh, it's always existed to an extent, right? Has it ever like? I mean, I think it's always been worrying, and it's always something that we need to really pay attention to. So, uh, yeah, I would say I wouldn't say strong agree with it, but I would agree with it. One by class and that by nationality. That's too. This is not. There's so many different nations. You know, what I mean, you can't really say that. You know, it's truer for some nations than for others. I'd say that's the case. Some nations can have less of a class hierarchy than others, right? So that can lead to different understandings or cooperation within that system. Uh, there is some truth to me to this particular statement, though. I'm trying to pull from my own experience, right? My experience with Eastern society, right, which is quite limited, but also deep in its own way. More by class than by nationality. There's also different nations that you could say, right? Yeah, like there's even like nations within a nation, right? So to talk about the Black nation, in the United States, right? So sometimes people even define nation by allegiance to sports teams and stuff. And look, you guys don't have to subscribe to that, but it is a terminology. So I just feel like it's just so there's just so much, and there's different things at different times. I just cannot agree with it. Yeah, I definitely see some truth here. I think it's just more. There's more to it than this. Okay, controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Um, each one is, each one has its balance, right? if you runaway inflation is really no good, runaway unemployment. But either one of these is right as extreme is going to have a problem, serious problems, because corporation cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment. They require regulation. I would say that's true. I know that there should be some regulations. I know that the libertarians will not be happy about that. Oh well. From each according to his ability, each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. This is actually a socialist saying. So, well, let's look at it as face, right? Like if you're barring the fact that we know that it'll make us rank up in certain, right? The last one is definitely a trap for they're like gonna class you out of libertarianism if you agree with that last one. And um, this one is trying to say, is this pro or anti-socialist? Um, Sounds okay, right? But once again, right, the implementation, right? It's just words. It's just, I guess, just hope for the best, right? The freer the market, the freer the people. Um, what happens if the market is freedom, right? Yeah, and you're selling your freedom for, certain resources and stuff. So that's, what about the free market, the prison system? It's not really been, where they have a market incentive to fill prison cells. So I can't agree with that. This is absolutely true. Hell yeah. Right? It used to be you could just get a free, maybe even 10 cents for the cup, right? But now people figure they can make more money on water in a bottle, even if we have to ship it, and, it's just so stupid. It should be illegalized, like, immediately. We're creating so many one-time use plastic bottles. Just stupid. Dumbest thing ever. Land should not be commodity to be bought and sold. Well, I like that one. Right? God put this earth here, right? Not you. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money, giving nothing to their society. That's well, contribute nothing. I mean, it is regrettable that for any reason people contribute nothing to society would be true, right? Um, that's a harsh statement, though. I mean, who says that manipulating money is not really contributing something to society? I mean, it doesn't really. Overall, I would have to agree with this. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Yes, or protect your brand, your reputation, right? The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. What the? No. In fact, this is really annoying. In fact, I really don't like that, right? Yeah. You gotta actually maintain trust. And there's short-term profits versus long-term profits, right? You can just kill off, you can harvest the reputation, the brand for short-term profits, but you're killing the It's too broad, and it gets abused way too easy. Um, mm, actually, I'll put this on strongly agree and see if this one can move this one up. Mm, contribute nothing. Should I strongly agree with this one? I don't like the idea of chopping up the land. Come on, be stronger. The rich are too highly taxed. You know, can't agree with that. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. It's fair. But the idea, I mean, they will have access. They should have. Yeah, that's only natural, right? This is the law of nature. It's just what it is. Government should penalize. In fact, I strongly agree. It's the law of nature, right? Yeah, you can't. Not that I'm like crazy or happy about this, but it's just a fact. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Yeah, absolutely, man. Fuck those assholes. You know what I mean? If the government doesn't do it, then you got them. Then the consumers got to, and they're just gonna go back there and whoop their asses. I mean, that's what else? What other freaking choice are you giving the people other than to get ripped off randomly? No, man. Anyways, wow, predator multinationals. I would say this is gonna sound wild. Really, I'm sorry to say this, right? No. I'm sorry to say no. Yeah? This is gonna sound crazy, right? But the fact of the matter is that the people must actually change the way that they purchase things and think about things. They must make a choice to be more intelligent about their decisions and to really study the effects of the responsibilities of what they're doing, of their actions are. And it cannot truly be free while you have restrictions, right? This is just counterintuitive. So I have to say no to that. I do not like betterment of the people got to see when it's happening and resist. And you could do it through regulation, but people will find a way around those restrictions, or they will just ignore it. If the people ignore it, you cannot. Those restrictions will not stay. It is not. It cannot be. It's like activism. You're trying to guard a house that's very difficult to defend, almost indefensible, really. Kind of messed up. Abortion when the woman's life is not threatened should always be illegal. No. There's some diseases where the child is going to come out horribly deformed, or a lot of times they come out and they die like within months because of certain congenital disease. You could look it up. Yeah. All authority should be questioned. Hell yeah. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Generally agree. I generally do this, but I don't really prescribe to this 100% right. If it was an accident, then, but you have to you have to make it right though. So I'll say I agree, right? Yeah. Like you don't have to rip the other dude's tooth out, right? But the thing is that, they should pay some price to try to make things right. You can't be, oh, sorry, and that's it now. We have to provide compensation to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. No, not true, right? If they're providing community service, then, and the people feel like it's worth it, then go ahead. That's for the taxpayers to choose, right? They should not be expected to, but they, if it's worth it, right? Now, well, I agree they should not be expected to, right? Yeah. But they could if they want to. There's nothing to stop them from doing so. School should not classroom attendance compulsory. That's up to them. That's up to each class, right? Yeah, and up to each school. There's different things to that, so it's for them to decide. All people have their rights, but it's better for if I say like if the people came to my school and we had such and such requirement for attendance, blah blah blah, then I know that that's part of some school paid attention to, so the graduates might be more dependable for that specific metric. Keep to their own kind. Wow, this is like really a troublesome phrase. Just have to say no. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. Sure. Just don't overdo it. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Absolutely. Possessing marijuana for use should not be a criminal offense. It's nice, yeah. Prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. No. It should be right. Finding a job means they're dependent on an employer. It should teach them to be self-sufficient and to build their own skills and their own political strength, not to find some institutional position. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. What? No. They can do whatever they want. The most important thing for children to learn is self-discipline. No. There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. What is civilized? What is savage? I would more tend to agree with this one. Yeah. Okay. I would strongly disagree with that, by the way. Yeah. And what I say? Serious. No, I would strongly disagree with this one as well. Yeah, I'll bump up some of these. Spanking is really torture, isn't it? Spank. I'm trying to get Caleb mopping over here now. Thing is that, like if one of the kids is hitting the other kids, I will swat that kid and be like, yo, get off that other kid. Stop it right now. You know what I mean? I would drag him off minimally, right? But if it's serious enough, someone's getting swatted, right? So I don't know if I'm spanking them. You know what? I'm gonna maybe punishment, but spanking, I don't know. Maybe get the kid off and smack him, but spanking. There's something about the loss of dignity there that I'm just not ready to support, right? What am I gonna do? Hit him in the head? Damn. Might make them do something they don't want to do. That's also either way it's dominance, right? Yeah. Spanking's fucked up. I mean, it's all fucked up. It was so confused I should not expect society support. What is the nature of this work? When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Now, you gotta handle your business, right? Yeah. First generation immigrants can never be fully into a Canadian country. I disagree with that. There is something, I do understand what they're getting at, though. There is something to that. There's a difference in the first and second generation. Not saying the second generation is fully integrated either, right? Yeah. Our second integration immigrants fully integratable within the new country? That's an interesting question. What is good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. There's just no way. Like, for the most, right? Yeah, is lastly good for all of us. It's not always true. Obviously not true. No broadcasting should benefit its content should receive public funding. No, if they're doing a public service, right? You could public funding also means like the government could buy commercials on its station, right? I wouldn't want to run some public service announcement. There's no reason why that would Okay, R6. Okay, I would definitely agree with this one. A one-party state is voice all arguments. They probably disagree. You know, there is some streamlining that goes forward, right? But you need those arguments as well. I mean, is it factually true, though? Does it avoid the arguments? No, those arguments are still happening in other ways, right? Yeah. It does streamline things, though. It depends on, it doesn't have to, but it usually does. So I would say overall I have to go with this one, yeah. Not that I think it's a great advantage, but it is make things go faster. Makes officials fail minutes earlier. Only wrongdoers need to be worried. No. The whistleblowers also have problems. Is whistleblowing wrong? The option for the most serious crimes. You know what? I actually asked to end the death penalty at the Unified Platform 22, but if someone's trying to kill me, then that is a serious crime, and I will defend myself if necessary. Be obeyed, and how people below to be commanded. There is, I mean, is social hierarchy necessary? Ooh, Do we need a social hierarchy? I don't want there to be. I generally resist it, right? It has some. Is it necessary? I'd say it's part of human nature. Hmm. I unfortunately have to say there's a certain amount of truth here. I'm not happy about it, but the fact that there's civilization, that means that things are orderly, means that people are following a certain script. Yeah, and the script is usually everybody is unlikely in a large society to have equal say in that script, and it's just a fact of nature. So one must always have, right? Not that I would like this or about this, but I really am not. But it's a truism that should be that I resist that you know that should be resisted, right? Just like we resist hunger, right? It's coming for all of us. We fight it off by eating. No, it doesn't represent anything. Oh, it's all art represents something. How can art not represent anything? Just random stuff. I mean, if it doesn't have any purpose, is it even art though? I mean, I have seen some stupid things called art, so yeah, there is a limit. Juvenile justice punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. I have to disagree with that one. Sometimes the punishment can just drive someone down further, right? Yeah. It could help as well too, though, right? Yeah, it has to be maybe a combination of both somehow. Kind of ways to, unfortunately, um, some of them. I would say it's possible, but I would generally disagree. But I would say there is something to agree here as well, right? Yeah. But I really kind of but people change. Things are always changing, right? But there are some people that you have to be very careful around, and this is not the time to But people are always changing as time goes on. Some people are just shown that they're snakes. I mean, you can't really work with them straight up, right? Or you have to do with maybe after a couple of years, 10 years, right? Yeah, I mean, but you just don't sometimes just being around people is dangerous, right? So there's a lot of thing. I wouldn't say I'd say it's just dangerous. You know what I mean? Is it a waste of time? I can't really say that's too far. Yeah, because every person has value. Some people will, definitely are trying to use that value to try to, hurt you though, and that's not really something we can really be rocking with. More important than the. Well, this is a real dick move. I'd have to fuck that, man. That's crazy. This is really an arrogant type of bureaucrat type of founders may have careers, but the first is to be homemakers. What? Okay. Let's go with that. Right? Homemakers. No, that's not their first duty. They just do what the fuck they want. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resource of developing countries. I would say fuck yeah. Make peace with this happening is an important aspect of maturity. Oh, did not agree with that one. I could. I think it's precisely the other way. Astrology. Okay. You cannot be moral without being religious. Do not agree with that. Charity is better than Social Security. Both could be messed up. Some people are naturally unlucky. It does happen. People get struck by lightning multiple times and shit, yeah. And the poor mice instills religious values. Disagree. Sex outside marriage is usually immoral. I would disagree. Same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Yeah, I mean, that's, should be okay. Those kids need a home, and they could have a home. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be illegal for the adult population. Yeah, it seems fair to me. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Yeah, sounds fair to me. No one can feel naturally homosexual. I would not agree with that. A lot of people face a lot of discrimination and have to deal with, I'm not actually having those feelings, but, it's probably the spectrum. One day I'll go into that, but not right now. Anyways, these days, openness about sex has gone too far. Disagree with that, right? Yeah, we could have a. Let's see where we stand. I am a lefty authoritarian. Wow. Comments, I guess. What is this? So I am a. Wait, oh, what? Wait, oh, no. So I'm more left libertarian. Okay, I thought it was authoritarian because the top one, right? Yeah. I thought this was me. No. It says that I am. Okay, left libertarian. That's what I thought, right? I was like, what? I'm a communist? No, I'm a what? Economic left, right, social libertarian. Okay, whatever. What does this mean? What am I? All right, so I'm more towards North Korea, China. Nobody's over here. Nobody's over. There's no nations in my part of the land. Yeah, maybe because I would get rid of nations and stuff. So I'm left and I'm libertarian. Left libertarian. Okay. Well, does it say anything else really? No. I hope you've enjoyed checking out this today's pretty far left, pretty far libertarian, right? Yeah. Halfway between the extreme and the center for both. Okay, that's cool. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me see, check the chat, see if anybody has anything to say. Oh, snap, 4 people watching? Damn, okay. He gets money from Putin to say nice things? Damn, okay. There's a lot of animals here. Wow. Okay, are you going to pass the test? Haha. What percentage of criminals do I think are unrehabitable? Very small, right? It's not even necessarily like they're not like they can't be rehabilitated, but they're not rehabilitatable at that time. They're too pissed off. They're too mad. You know what I mean? So some people just really some people are just really like vicious people, like straight up. Anyways, Fee gets money from Putin to say nice online things. Okay, only nice things. Okay. You don't believe in astrology at all? No. Maybe a little bit. I don't know, but then we have some type of. I guess this is. I'm not sure what that is. Sushi or something. Then we got a crab and a dog. Some poo, a horse, some random things here. Okay. Flooding the chat. I'm mad. All right. So. All right. Well, hope you all enjoyed the political compass test. I think that's really it for this show. But now you know where I am, I guess.